that feeling in your gut that something is wrong and has to change. You might think that midlife crises are for people that are older and have already finished their career, but there is such thing as a quarter life crisis, and a lot of younger folks are having this and actually not knowing how to deal with this. I'm Ellie, and I'm a senior healer, and I'm going to teach you how to deal with your quarter life crisis. So how do you know if you're having a quarter life crisis? Well, if you're watching this, you probably have one, right? Just to be specific, what is a quarter life crisis? You have a quarter life crisis if you are having a lot of discomfort here in your soul. That's what it feels like. And it's light, but it can go very extreme if you really sit with it. So those late nights where you're trying to go to bed and your brain is like, yo dude, you gotta think about how old you are. You gotta think about this relationship that you've put so much time in, or this job that you are committing to, and your brain and your soul is knocking on your door, and it's like, hey, you better listen. And you're like, oh my god, what the fuck do I do? Right? That's how you know you're going through a quarter life crisis, is if you're really getting existential, doubting and thinking about things like your age, your career, but anything about your current situation, and your soul is trying to make you think about yourself. It's forcing a mirror on you. And if you are engaging in high levels of avoidance as well, this is a sign you're going through a existential crisis. Is if you are in a relationship that doesn't serve you, that you know is not going to go anywhere, or you are in a job that you know is not for you, if you are in a place that you know, if you are acting as a person that doesn't affirm who you really are and your true feelings, you are very likely to be going through a quarter life crisis right now. And it does not matter how old you are, what you've achieved. If it still feels like something's missing and it's very glaring, but also you don't want to see what it really is, that's a quarter life crisis, babe. And don't worry, I'm going to help you. So stick around for a couple minutes. I'll give you some simple steps how to start. Not to solve it, but I promise you it can be solved. But we have to start very well. Okay, if you watched this far, good job. And notice how it feels that we're setting aside this time for you and your crisis. You haven't made any contact, but you are listening. There's a little bit of comfort already that you're watching this video. That, okay, I'm listening, things could be different, and I want you to ride this wave. You don't have to do this all the time, but it can be a very small step that you do in your weeks moving forward. It will bring you to solving this thing. Because here's the thing, once you hear the problem, solution will come up and inevitably happen. That's what I facilitate in coaching. It's hearing the problem, offering solutions, and guiding you through how to make those solutions in a way that uses psychology and philosophy. So it's actually scientifically and spiritually backed, right? But here's what I want you to do. Notice how good it feels, or how a little comforting it is to just sit here. And this is the most important first step that you now have and you've used and you can build on. So you're not going to be doing anything new because you've just done it now, which is taking space to hear what your body and life is telling you. So you are probably engaging in high levels of avoidance, whether that's being in a relationship that doesn't really affirm you, presenting yourself as a person that's not very affirming. If you're queer, you might be hiding yourself from different parts of your identity and sexuality. If you are in a job that you know this is not what your 7-year-old self wanted to do, you are in some form of a crisis right now, and you are now listening, right? And it feels good to listen, and I promise you, if you build on this, you are one step closer to feeling better and not feeling this crisis again. I promise you. Right? So a practical step you can do once a week. Take 2 minutes, set a timer, sit on the ground, somewhere quiet, look at a blank wall, and just notice what comes up. And it will, oh my goodness, there it is, everything will come out. Or very little, because it might take some time. You might start to think about useless things again. But I promise you, if you set enough time aside, the message will come to you. You don't even have to force it. But sometimes it's hard to interpret all these things. You might have too much, and this is where coaching is really helpful. So if you want help with that, DM me, right? Because we can make sense of all these things, But one thing you can do now without a coach, set aside time so that it becomes very, very loud. Your life becomes very loud, and you're facing the things that you don't want to face, or it's very discomforting. That discomfort will drive you into action, but you have to make it so that you feel that discomfort. And here's the nice thing. You don't have to deal with that discomfort alone. And this discomfort has been solved. I've dealt with it myself, and I can tell you it's gone. And I've dealt with it with many different clients, men, women, creators, queer folks. This is not something that's magical and can never be solved. It can feel like that for people. But if you feel like that, you gotta get into coaching sooner than later. Right? So make sure that you are finding ways for you to listen, and also you gotta welcome the discomfort. You don't have to embrace it, but just welcome it as an important message and signal from your body. And I promise you the way will make sense. Right? And for me, when I set aside enough time, my message from my body at that time became very clear. And the message for me, for example, was like I was very lonely. I didn't want to face that for years, because that meant thinking about my trauma, thinking about things that are very uncomfortable. But I knew that I needed to face these things. And I took a lot of courage, but also having a support, knowing that I had a coach or therapist that was going to help me with it was really helpful. And I'm here. If you're watching this video, great. You have me as someone that can help you, right? And I just want you guys to have that step to be able to get to where we can fix these things, right? So feel these things, set aside time, and here's the next step. Come to me, and if you have a group of friends, if you have a partner, if you have people, or you want to join a group of people that will face this or deal with problems, DM me. I have some slots open this fall, but it's something I want to offer to people before I get my certification and my price raises in the next year. So this is a really good time, because this is going to be really high quality coaching, but very affordable. And I'm going to just do that until I get certified, because then I will raise my prices, right? But that's it. Set aside time. Start hearing these things, and when you're ready, let's interpret it together. Let's make a plan, and let's solve this thing. Okay? All right. Bye-bye.